Welcome into Dallas Mavericks. Today, I am your host, Harrison Graham. Today's show is presented by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety and security provider. They're going to monitor all your online activity and prevent you from being hacked. Start a free trial today. 14-day free trial, aura.com/chatsports. That link is in the comments and in the description. All right, appreciate you guys for tuning in to today's show. Also appreciate everybody who submitted their questions on a video earlier this week and on our community post. We'll answer as many as we can, and if we didn't answer your question, hashtag Mavs in the comments. We'll try to answer them on a future show. All right, let's start with Federico Machado using hashtag Mavs. Should the Mavs try to attack a player like Oladipo at the mid-level exception if we send out one of Spencer Dinwiddie and Tim Hardaway Jr. in a trade? So, Federico, Victor Oladipo, interesting player because he's had a ton of injuries, but I actually thought he played pretty well for the Heat this year, especially down the stretch in the regular season. You see those numbers on the left. Only 8 games, small sample size when he came back from that injury, but 12.5 points, grabbed 3 boards, 3.5 assists. The efficiency had been much higher than it had in recent years at 48% from the field and almost 42% from 3. Got some good playoff run, too, for Miami. The shooting splits weren't great, but Eric Spoelstra trusted him over Duncan Robinson, which I think is pretty significant. Oladipo's a guy who is a combo guard, can play some 2, can play some point, pretty decent defender as well. I would absolutely take Oladipo on a mid-level deal, and that's regardless of if you move Dinwiddie or Tim Hardaway Jr. I still think you could find minutes for Oladipo because he can play on and off the ball. You could bring him in on that bench unit. Like, would I rather play Oladipo or Josh Green? Probably Oladipo, if I'm being completely honest. Hopefully Green continues to improve. He made some strides this year, but mid-level guy for Oladipo, I think that's a proper contract for him, and we'll see what his market looks like once we enter NBA free agency. So what do you guys think? Should the Mavs go out and sign Victor Oladipo? Type S for sign, type P for pass. A year ago, I probably would have said no, but I saw enough positive signs once he returned from injury this year. I might type my S for sign. Next up on our Mavericks mailbag is Sean Sarin asking this question. Do you think Tim Hardaway Jr. will be on the roster next year? This is a good question and a big question that we're all wondering, right? Could he be a trade chip? I think he absolutely could be. I'll say 70% chance yes, 30% chance no. I think it's a realistic possibility that he could get traded. He's a legit trade piece, maybe one of your better ones with his ability, his contract. I think him getting moved is absolutely a possibility, but I would still lean toward him returning for a variety of reasons. You look at his last couple of years. Number one, trade value probably down a little bit compared to it was a year ago because A, coming off the injury, B, you look at the numbers. His numbers dipped. I mean, there's no doubt. In the games he did play this year, he wasn't shooting the basketball as well. It's not like he fell off a cliff, but by the end of 2 seasons ago, especially in that playoff series against the Clippers, he was this team's second best player. Obviously, that is not the case at this point. At best, he'd probably be your 3rd best player if you bring back Jalen Brunson. But he's got 3 years left in his deal, so you've got team control, which means a couple of things. If you don't want to trade him now, you could trade him in a year. You could trade him at the deadline if you want to go get another piece. But if he's a part of a trade to get you a better player, that's an option as well. Again, that's why I'm saying 70% yes, 30% no. But the reason I would lean yes is think about this playoff run. Dorian Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock had run out of gas by the Western Conference Finals because they were playing so much, and they're in great shape. And, it doesn't mean they weren't playing well, but imagine if they could have played 35 minutes a game instead of 40, 42 minutes per game if you had Tim Hardaway's 28, 30 minutes a game to have some depth at the 2 and 3 spot. You didn't have that because he was hurt. So I think had you had that, we'd feel different about Hardaway, but he wasn't there. So the reality is it's possible that he does get moved. Today's show is sponsored by Aura. Listen, Tim Hardaway Jr. has a lot of money and he wants to protect it. You want to protect yours as well? Financial fraud protection is offered by Aura. They will send you real-time alerts if there's suspicious activity, among online on your cards or etc. I know I've had my credit card hacked before, and it's a pain in the ass dealing with that and saying, no, I didn't buy this stuff, and you got to go through this whole process. Aura's going to monitor all of that for you. They also protect you against identity theft, as plenty of hackers out there are trying to steal that information, online device security. What does that mean? Social media accounts, email, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, online accounts through, Hulu, Netflix, all this stuff. It's all password protected, but people are hacking it all the time, and Aura will protect you from it. Plus, they have family plans to protect up to 5 people in your family. 14-day free trial can be had right now when you go to aura.com/chatsports. I started using this provider a couple of weeks ago, and I extended beyond the free trial because they have been that helpful. Link in the comments and in the description. Get going with Aura today. All right, we got Rance Hamilton next up here. If the Nets blow it up, do you think Ben Simmons would be a good fit in Dallas? Look, here's the truth. I want nothing to do with Ben Simmons. He's a good player, but he's mentally soft. I don't think he cares about basketball that much. At least he's shown nothing to prove that. Didn't play at all last year. And I do think the back thing was legit, but he didn't come into work to get treatment at all with the Sixers. He can't be trusted. That's the bottom line. Plus, on top of that, even if you could trust him, I don't like the fact that he can't shoot. So the floor spacing is a problem. Where does he fit with a Luka Doncic? Does he play the 5? Is he a roll man? Is a point center type? I don't think that makes sense. So I don't think he's a fit here. I don't want him. I don't know what Brooklyn's going to end up doing, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go in a different direction because Ben Simmons can't be trusted, and until he proves that he can be, I'm going to opt to go in a different direction. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. More Mavericks news and rumors all year long. If you've noticed, we've cranked up our covers the past couple of weeks. Off-season's heating up, baby. Free agency, draft, trade rumors. We've got it all covered for you. Link is below, youtube.com/MavsTV. Do not forget to hit that big red button. It's 100% free. Okay, got a couple more here, I believe. Tubbs the Barber using hashtag Mavs. Do you think Al Horford could be the right fit underneath the rim? Well, let me first say this, Tubbs. Al Horford, what he has done in the playoffs has been absolutely sensational. What he did in Game 1 to carry Boston, 75% from the floor in that game, 6 of 8 from deep, he's been awesome. 26, 6 and 3, 6 threes in that game as well. And you look at his overall playoff stats, he's been so efficient. He's playing, you could argue, from an efficiency standpoint, the best ball of his career. 52% from the field, 46% from 3. He's scoring, he's rebounding, he's an excellent defender, good screener. He would be a great fit. Now, his contract next year is kind of interesting. $26.5 million if the Celtics win the finals. If they lose it, $7 million of that becomes non-guaranteed. It's kind of an incentive type of deal. So, it would be $19.5 million if Boston were to cut him for some reason. But why would they cut him? I mean, the only way they're getting rid of him is if they trade him and feel like they get a huge offer. If I'm Horford, I'm staying at Boston, man. You're in the middle of a championship run. You've got a young nucleus there. I would love him in Dallas for a couple of years. He's getting older, but 2 years, he would fit in great. But Boston's got to be thrilled with him. I think he's thrilled to be there. I don't think he's going anywhere. All right, I believe this is the last question. Marquise Robertson, do you see LeBron James teaming up with Luka? Ever? Probably not, but this year I would say almost no chance. As fun as it would be, it's not going to happen this year, barring something just super unforeseen that we did not see coming, which happens in sports. If you follow the NFL offseason, a lot of crazy stuff happens, so never say never. But the reality is LeBron loves living in L.A. I think he wants to make it work there, at least try to for this year. 1 year left in his contract, set to be a free agent next year. So if he is going to get moved, or if he is going to go join another team maybe next offseason, we could revisit this if he has a desire to play with Luka. Look, we know he's a huge fan of Luka Doncic. He loves his game. These guys like each other. LeBron was a guy Luka looked up to coming over from Europe. Their games are very similar to one another, and quite frankly, Luka just went on a playoff run similar to some of those that LeBron has done in the past, just putting the team on his back. So it's fun to think about. It won't happen this next season, I should say, but 2023, I wouldn't rule it out. I'd say there's at least a 5 to 10% chance. We'll have to wait and see once we get there. So what do you think? We'll end the show on this question. Will LeBron and Luka ever play together? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Get your votes in down below. That's going to do it for Dallas Mavericks today and today's mailbag. Again, hashtag Mavs in the comments if you want to be on our next mailbag show. Tune in. More coverage to come. News, rumors, trade rumors, free agency buzz. It's all heating up. YouTube.com/MavsTV. Hit that big red button. We'll see you soon.